show. I'm Manny.
Terrence.
And here are the goods consistently again, second week.
Almost a whole month.
Almost second week. We missed last week, actually.
We did miss, well, I mean...
We filmed two shows.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff we just didn't do podcasts last night.
That's right, we didn't do podcasts last night. So let's just catch you up. And we started with the box office. Crazy Rich Asians.
Still blowing up.
Winning it second week in a row. Top at the box office. 25 million.
I'm ready to go see this movie now. I wasn't ready when it first dropped. I am ready to go see this movie. The word of mouth that I've heard about it has made it sound really, really interesting to me, so I'm ready to go see it.
Constance Wu from Fresh Off the Boat is just gorgeous, so I just want to go see it just for her.
Just for her.
Now, here's what's funny about this movie.
Aquafina?
Now, what?
That's her name. She's a
rapper. She was in Ocean's 8. That's right. Anyway, so it opened up around that, okay. Right? And in second week, 25 million. Unheard of. Never happens. 6% drop from 1 week.
That's crazy. That's Avatar numbers.
That's some pretty solid numbers.
Yeah.
Like you said, word of mouth is spreading. This movie is hilarious. Mm-hmm. Number 2, The Meg stays there.
Stay there, even though. So I know you had your opinions on The Meg, and I've talked to other people because I'm still not sold on this movie 100% yet, but other people kind of say, man, I'm not sure if I'm ready to see this movie in theaters.
And I'll say it one more time for those of you who haven't heard my stuff. I think it's great.
Okay.
But the ending's too safe. Right. It's too safe. If you have a 90-foot megalodon and it's going right at all these swimmers and don't eat like nobody, it's just too safe.
He was focused on the goal.
It was whack. Anyway, so
it's whack.
I meant the end because it was so safe is whack.
All right.
The safety is whack.
Okay, the safety's whack.
The safety's whack.
Yeah, kids, don't be safe.
Hear that, kids? Don't wear your seatbelts.
Don't be safe.
Well, anyway, 13 million for number 2, 408 worldwide.
That's pretty good. This might get a sequel.
I think it is going to get a sequel. There's 5 books.
Well, you have $5 to make?
5 books.
Oh, 5 books.
There's 5 books. It's based off a book. There's 5
so we'll
books
get Meg
total.
2.
Meg 2, yeah.
Meganing.
The Electric Boogaloo. Meg 2 Electric Boogaloo. All right, number 3. Now, this opened below expectations. I really didn't see this actually doing anything, making any kind of dent, but it is what it is. Happy Time Murders, number 3.
I want to see
10
Happy Time
million.
Murders. I want to see puppets and violence in adult-rated situations.
It was, I walked into some of it, and it's hilarious. There are some scenes that are just so damn funny.
Is it like Team America, like kind of over the top with puppets, or is it more like, what was that Office version of the Muppets?
It had a film noir, LA Confidential type of feel to it, as far as with the PI and all that. So in that regard, it was it was at that pace. Okay, sure. It was not as, I don't think there was as much as substance as Team America did. Okay. Team America's hilarious. I mean, they're both good, but Team America was way more funnier than that. Okay. But either way, more funnier. More funnier, some new stuff, some more funnier. Regardless, Happy Time Murders.
Coming soon, top 5 puppets.
Go check it out. Top 5, yeah.
We talked about this when we said we vetoed this one. We talked about it for a while.
Number 4, Mission Impossible 6.
Still there, how?
Still there, 8,538 worldwide.
We are getting another Mission
We will get another one.
Old ass Tom Cruise.
And Henry Cavill with the mustache.
I'm ready. Oh.
You know what? Just shave for MI7.
I was okay with his character in Mission Impossible. I'm ready for a reboot to this franchise. I can bring somebody fresh in Tom Cruise. I don't hate him in this role, but he's getting too old for this.
Yes, he is.
He's getting too old for this shit.
And number 5, making its way back after being like in 6th place last week, Christopher Robin comes right back into number 5, 6 million.
Disney did their marketing machine. They were like, hey, people's not going to go see this movie. We got to make sure we get some butts in the seats to go out there and support this movie because of their whole live action thing that they're doing with all their
animated properties.
Yeah, all their properties. So if this one doesn't do well, will that kind of detract from everything else they have coming out?
Well, Winnie the Pooh, when you compare that to Aladdin and Lion King, and
there's no Winnie the Pooh.
I don't think
They're all old.
They're all old and dead. Thank you, Aspen. They're all old and dead.
Something like that.
There was nobody alive to go see this movie.
I think that they really wanted to capitalize at the end of summer. Summer's officially over.
Okay.
I don't want to do a top 5 summer movies of 2017 because everybody knows it's Avengers.
Yeah.
Deadpool and something else, or whatever. The Meg. No. But the summer officially ended. This was the last weekend before school started. So, one more push. One more, the only family film that's really out there because you can't see those other puppets. So, so there you go.
The good puppet film.
Coming up next week is Operation Finale. It's a WWE2.
Operation Dumble Drop.
No.
Did they remake that movie?
Operation Finale with Oscar Isaac.
Okay.
And it's a World War II type
I'm
of
a big
drama.
fan of
Looks good.
Oscar Isaac is in, so
it looks really good. And science fiction movie Kin. It looks science fiction. The gun.
Yeah, he finds a gun. It almost seems like it's a spinoff to Avengers.
Or Tron.
Or Avengers.
Or Tron.
Or Avengers. Or Super 8. What I'm saying is that about the fact that they find a leftover weapon from an alien race, kind of like the Chitauri leaving weapons, what they did.
Homecoming, Spider-Man.
There you go. Exactly. Homecoming. It is a spinoff to Homecoming. I'm glad you said it. Homecoming is a spinoff to Homecoming. He finds it. I love the whole that he's learning how to use a gun and people are trying to get it. I think it's going to be an interesting movie. Like you said, it would probably be a smaller film that would turn out to have kind of a small buzz, good enough to do well for the film, kind of like a Super 8.
Or I think it's going to do along the lines of what Upgrade. Upgrade
did. Like blew expectations up for Upgrade.
So I think it'll be around there. New movie Axel came out too, and that did nothing. So I don't know.
I didn't know it was a thing. Didn't know it was a thing.
All right. Well, speaking of Oscar Isaac, he's in the DC rumor mill here. Right now, Oscar Isaac met with WB, and the rumor is that he's looking for a role in The Batman.
I would love to see Oscar Isaac in anything like this. I'm a big fan of him in any of his roles that he's come out with. But I am very, very shocked that Marvel or Disney themselves would let him go to WB as not just casting him in something in Marvel.
Well, remember, we'll get into that right now. Okay. No plot details have been released about the movie. I believe they're still writing it, but it looks like he might be cast as Penguin.
Okay, I gotta see the makeup on it. I mean, Danny DeVito is the epitome of live-action Penguin for some reason.
Well, there was there's been.
I saw the Gotham one. The Gotham one is interesting, but it's still, I don't think it takes the cake on Danny DeVito.
Well, they had a picture of Oscar Isaac when he came out in Sucker Punch.
Oh, wow! Why?
Well,
and
who has pictures of Sucker Punch?
And hey, Emily Browning.
I mean, the CGI
anyway.
is the best thing that happened in that movie.
No, but Oscar Isaac, the picture that they had from Sucker Punch, he looks like he could be an Oswald Cobblepot.
Okay.
Cobblepot. So
I gotta see him in makeup. I believe in him as an actor.
But it doesn't have to be. He does not have to go the Danny DeVito, Tim Burton route. He can go. You have never seen the Penguin in a modern setting. Like The Dark Knight
I saw Gotham.
That was, I guess. Yeah, you're right. It kind of goes back and forth, though.
Oh, okay.
It's like, hey, I'm in the 60s, but I have a cell phone. I don't know. Anyway, Ben Affleck right now is unsure whether or not he's going to come back. Matt Reeves doesn't know whether or not he's going to come back.
Ben Affleck contracted.
He's in rehab right now, actually. So
he's contracted in rehab.
It's going back. It's going back and forth on whether or not he's going to come back for this. So because they're unsure with that, I think casting the villain first would probably be the better way to go.
Good press.
No, not just that, but you actually, it can probably help you with casting Batman, because then you want to see the dynamic between the two actors and how they're going to respond to each other.
Okay.
So maybe casting the villain is the better way to do it.
I thought we had already casted the villain with Deathstroke.
You did it and he's still there.
So Deathstroke and Oswald Cobblepot? What kind of movie is this? Really? No, really? Oh. She's got a picture up from Sucker Punch. I burned that. All images and video of Sucker Punch needs to be burned.
All right. Now you're more than likely, Terrence, you're going to put this up right now. So Aspen, seeing that, what do you think? You think that he would be a good Oswald Cobblepot?
I think he'd be very nice looking.
Okay. That's a different reason why she says that.
Now, touching base about what you were talking about. Now, Oscar Isaac is right now. He's doing. He's filming Star Wars Episode 9, doing the press rounds right now for Operation Finale. So a lot of these questions have been asked of him and all that stuff.
Like, why isn't he in Marvel?
Well, he recently, a couple years ago, or even last year, whenever it was, he just did Apocalypse, and
That's right.
You know, he was he dipped his toe there inside to the comic world.
We got Thanos and we got Cable from Fox and Marvel. So why can't we have Apocalypse from Fox and then have them free somebody in Marvel?
Well, this is DC.
I know, but what I'm saying is that they already
Deadpool and Green Lantern.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that they already Disney likes to keep people that they already have doing films for them in-house. So if you're gonna do one film for Disney or for Lucasfilms, then they would rather you do something for another one of their companies than to have you go outside of it.
Well, if he's talking to WB, I mean, he's gone outside of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
I can't believe they didn't say, hey, why don't you just be a character within the MCU? Because we already have to deal with that Thanos Cable thing. Why we can deal with the fact that you were Apocalypse who died.
And you couldn't really tell that was him in any way.
Exactly. So
you really couldn't.
So I'm just surprised that they did that. Not to say that he's not going to be a good character playing Penguin. I'm just surprised that Disney didn't say, "Hey, do something with Marvel."
Well, again, it's just rumor on whether or not he's going to play Penguin or not. If he is not playing Penguin,
Thomas Wayne.
We'll get to that in a minute. What character would you like to see him play? As a villain, Black Mask?
No, because
the Riddler.
No.
Black Mask.
Black Mask is interesting, but you won't get to see his face. His face is going to be covered by the
Apocalypse.
Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy, yes, Poison Ivy. Harley Quinn, hell, why not?
Why not? All right.
Wait, no.
Yes, Aspen.
I think. Well, see, Terrence, I think it's a better rumor that he would be Penguin than when the rumor came out that Josh Gad was going to be Penguin.
Well, I would buy
Josh Gad as Penguin, actually, yeah.
It would no longer be a serious film anymore.
Now, but back in the day, we'll end this right now. But back in the day, had God, God forbid if he would have just stayed alive, Philip Seymour Hoffman
that would have been great.
Was supposed to be the Penguin. That would have been awesome. But anyway, rest in peace on that. Anyway, so so we'll see. Let us know on the comments below on who or what character you think Oscar Isaac should play. So Terrence mentioned Thomas Wayne. Well, the Joker origin movie is going to be filming in about 2 weeks or so, and Todd Phillips has already found his Joker. He's got Joaquin Phoenix, right? So and first of all, right now, Joaquin Phoenix don't give a crap what you think about his Joker. So I'm curious because that dude does have range, long way from freaking.
What happened to Negan?
Well, hold on. Anyway, so Alec Baldwin has been tapped to play Thomas Wayne in the Joker origin story. Yes, you did. In the Joker origin movie, Alec Baldwin is tapped to play Thomas Wayne.
All right. So my first thought about it is that I don't have a problem with Alec Baldwin being Thomas Wayne. Well, I mean,
I'm gonna let you do your Donald Trump impression.
What is it? It's gonna be the greatest version of Thomas Wayne of all time. So my whole thing is like, how big of an impact is he gonna have on this film? Are we just basically gonna see the Batman origin thing again, or we're gonna get like a clip like we normally get, or is he gonna be a big part of this film? Then what part of the Joker is gonna be in this film?
But then you gotta say who's gonna be Batman in this universe, and then here we go again, all over again. Jake Gyllenhaal again.
Are we getting Ben Affleck for this Joker movie?
Yeah, no, we're not. Anyway, all right. So comic book movies are the thing. Everybody freaking loves them. I think comic
book movies.
I think like three of the top grossing movies of all time are Marvel movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Comic book movies have saved the movie industry for right now.
I mean, between the MCU and Star Wars, that's basically been Hollywood. Yeah. So some of the movies that do get ignored when they have these kind of films are the indies, and those, which I would kind of argue, especially with Crazy Rich Asians doing so well.
Was the one by Jordan Peele?
Yeah, and Get Out too.
Get Out.
Absolutely. Now, like I said, everybody loves comic book movies. Well, one person that does not like comic book movies very much is Ethan Hawke. So Ethan Hawke has made comments that have pretty much they've lit him up a little bit on social media.
Wow.
But he's made comments regarding superhero movies. Stated that he watched Logan after everybody told him it's a great film. It's a great film. Word of mouth.
Logan.
And he said that it's a fine comic movie, but it's not a great movie. I'm paraphrasing, by the way.
He didn't like Logan.
He liked Logan, but it's not a movie. It's a comic book movie. It's not a movie.
It's not intended to be a comic book movie. It's just intended to be a movie about a man on a road trip trying to get away from things that are kind of haunting his past and, future endeavors, or not future endeavors, but things that he wants to look out for his future. Future endeavors makes it sound like he's getting ready to change jobs.
I know. That's. I'm going to let you talk, so go ahead.
But it's like, it's not even set up to be a comic book movie. It just deals with comic book characters, not really intending to be like, hey, we need to save the day.
So you need to see. That's what I'm talking about right there. Stop right there. Hold on. You gotta stop saying that.
What?
Comic book characters? No, characters.
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 Character that has claws.
Characters. Okay. Well, he said there's a difference. There's a difference between a motion picture, a movie. Mm-hmm. Like especially with artsy movies, and he brought up Bresson and Bergman and these legendary directors. How you can even throw Hitchcock and Cecil B. DeMille and all these kind of guys. But you can throw all those guys in there. That's what he's talking about. He's taking away from comics themselves, from the stories that the comic books are trying to say in the first place.
Did he forget about his own filmography?
Well, hold on a second. Anyway.
I mean, it's not like he did serious movies the whole time.
Hollywood wants you to think they're great because they want to make money, he said.
Every movie wants to make money.
But, okay.
Nobody's like, I just want people to go and see it and not pay me a dime for this because of the art. No! They want the people to go out there and watch this movie.
All right, here's the thing that gets me. Now, this is where the popular versus best motion picture Oscar are going to vary. This is where, matter of fact, you know what? I would have Ethan Hawke present that award of the best popular movie.
Well, there's been a lot of people as of late that have been bagging on like comic book films or movies that deal with characters that have been found in comic books, if I can say that better for you.
Right.
There have been a lot of people that come out to say stuff like that, but in the same breath, when they say that, do they forget all the fantastical characters they play in movies? Just because those characters didn't come from a comic book doesn't make them any more serious than what comic book movies do actually portray on screen. So,
and I read an article that pretty much stated exactly that. All right, pretty much what they were talking about was what is really the difference between, somebody that has metal claws and the Tin Man. Yeah. Which Wizard of Oz is pretty much considered one of the greatest movies of all time. Right. So what is the difference there? You still had a legendary director there. You still had a Judy Garland there. You had so what is the real difference on that?
You have his filmography because I'm thinking of a lot of sci-fi films that he did.
I know. I was actually speaking to my boy Robert out there. He did Gattaca.
Yeah.
All right, James Bond news. Danny Boyle has left the project. We're talking about Danny Boyle wanting to direct it. Creative differences. Why? Because they want to kill James Bond.
And get a new James Bond?
Rumor has it that James Bond will be killed in this movie since Daniel Craig is no longer going to be playing James Bond. What do you think about that?
I don't think they should kill him. They should do what they've done all throughout time and just recast. So, and does Danny Boyle believe that? And he was like, I don't want to kill James Bond. Well, I mean, did he quit because...
Yeah, that creative differences because of that. Okay. That's the rumor that he left because they were going to kill James Bond.
He's not writing the script for this. They just cast him.
He was going to direct it. Yeah.
Okay, so... I agree with him. I don't think they should kill James Bond, and I'm sad to lose Danny Boyle on this, but I heard another rumor that they were thinking about getting the guy from Baby Driver.
Oh, Edgar.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe, making a comeback, baby.
The next James Bond, Colt the Raven.
Nevermore.
But yeah, it's like I'm kind of interested to see who they actually get to take over for him. But if it's to do that Death of James Bond thing, I'm totally against it. Just recast because I'm ready to see Tom Hiddleston or Idris take over the role.
Okay.
But I don't want it to be because I'm the son of James Bond or the James Bond name is a title. We already have a title. It's a 007 moniker. And it's like I would rather James Bond continue to live on because now you've made James Bond human. Because if you kill him, what's to say the next one can't be killed? And the one after that, you're going to kill James Bond every time somebody wants to give up their contract? You recast like you've done for, 40 years?
Okay, well, Daniel Craig will be done with the role after this movie, right? So,
That's
letting him go out in the glaze.
Back with that Brinks truck to his house and said, stop all your bitching. Here's all the money you want.
Letting him go out in a blaze of glory. I understand him wanting to do that, okay? Now, it's a possibility that they're going to end the movie in a cliffhanger and then introduce the new James Bond in the following movie. There was a movie that Sean Connery did. You Only Live Twice, I think. I cannot remember what it was.
Yeah, well.
He died in that movie.
Okay.
So, and then came back in the next one. So, it's a possibility they're going to go that way. If they do get a brand new actor, is that the best way to transition after he dies?
I don't think so. Because I feel like if they do he died, they're going to be like, it'll be like Triple X. You're the new Triple X.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
You're the new Triple X. No, I don't want you're the new James Bond. The 007 is the moniker that James Bond carries. If you want to make another 007, that's why we have 008 and 006.
How the hell would you explain Idris if he's James Bond? Walk in, blonde hair, blue eyes.
Hey, look, there's been different.
The Beast of No Nation comes out.
There've been different races of James Bond. They just happen to be all white. There's different ethnic backgrounds.
And if you're all white, you're all right.
So it's just one of those things that you just accept for James Bond. It's like they can recast for anybody, and it's just like continuing on where the other one nobody else notices. You keep all the same cast and characters. You just have a new face on there. I mean, look, they changed out Rhodey. We got Goey. So you can change. James Bond's been doing this for 40-something years. Him and the Doctor Who guy has been doing this probably the longest amount of time of just changing out people. So why are we complaining about that? We don't need a death scene because now it just feels like everybody who gets cast as James Bond is going to keep dying.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
All right.
We'll see how it goes.
Michael.
Hey, so these motherfuckers go. Motherfuckers over there in the corner. These motherfuckers having these 40s. He owes me 30, but he's over there drinking 40s.
He has 40s, but owes you 30.
That's right. He gave me shit.
Oh, he's drinking 40s, and he owes you $30.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to figure out black people talk. Yeah. It goes over my head because I'm not black.
All right.